go ahead and get started and say thank you so much for attending this session on mindfulness and meditation, focused on gratitude and bringing gratitude into our lives. I'm going to give a quick thank you to our sponsor, Mallinckrodt Pharmaceuticals, for sponsoring all of our wellness series this year. So thank you to Mallinckrodt for making these possible. We have built up quite a repertoire of videos, so those are also available to you. I'm going to put those in the chat for folks so they know where to find them. Additionally, I wanted to give a quick shout out, as this session has to do with gratitude, on FSR's gratitude and giving campaign through the end of the year. And we have some really fun things that we're doing. And the first thing is that you can start a group, or build a gratitude group, and you can work on a team and share what you're thankful for, what you're grateful for, as a means of supporting FSR and the work that we do here. But through that, we have some fun little things that you can do, regardless if you build a team. You can post on your Facebook or any of your social medias, these great little downloads with the little tree that has, you can't really see them right here, but there's little numbers around the edges of it, and you can share what you're grateful for there. You can fill this in too and post that on social media. Make sure to tag FSR in any social media that you post so that we can share your post and get more foot traffic there. And then you can download this super cute little frame for any of your Facebook or your profile pictures on social media, which is super fun. And I just wanted to share that since our session today has to do with gratitude. Excuse me. And so with that, I want to introduce our amazing mindfulness extraordinaire, Susan D'Agostino, who is a certified mindfulness and meditation coach. She's also a Qigong. Are you a Qigong coach there, Susan? Yeah. Instructor. And she's also a retired nurse, and she is an FSR patient advocate and patient navigator. And I will turn it over to Susan to lead us in our mindfulness meditation session on gratitude today. Welcome, Susan.
Hi, thank you, Mindy. Again, thank you to FSR and Mallinckrodt and to everyone for being here today. So it's November, and I know Mindy just gave a little plug to the gratitude stuff that they're doing on FSR on their webpage. I spent a little time on it last night, so really I encourage everybody to get on there. It's really nice. I have to tell you, I was really impressed with the logo. I already put the logo on my Facebook page. It's really pretty. I think for all of us, I think everybody will be pleasantly surprised when they go on there. It's really nice. A lot of nice and fun stuff, and some really good articles too, which I did read them because I had done some little bit of research for this class today, and some of the same stuff I'm going to talk about are on the article. So it was really nice. So here we are in November, and I think, everybody's kind of aware about November, the whole feeling of Thanksgiving and what are we giving thanks for. And and as we get through November and the rest of the year, I think this is something we should all try and focus on a little bit, in our daily lives. Gratitude. What does it really mean? What does gratitude mean for you, and how can you incorporate it? Gratitude not only during the month of November, which is Thanksgiving, but possibly through Christmas, and then bring it into the new year and develop a practice so that you feel gratitude daily. There was some recent surveys done, and I have a web page on Facebook called One Mindful Heart, MINDFUL, and there was a infographic that I put on there this morning, actually. So if anybody wants to go on there and look at it, it's a great. It talks about how gratitude leads to good health and happiness. And one of the things that really struck at me is when they talked about how grateful are we, how much do we express gratitude or feel gratitude, and men and women were surveyed, and really only 52% of women felt they expressed gratitude on a regular basis, and 44% of men, when surveyed, said that, which I thought, I don't know if those numbers are good. I personally would have liked for them to be a little bit higher, but because when you think about gratitude, it's probably the easiest thing you can do, the easiest thing you can evoke daily, a feeling of gratitude. It really doesn't take much. There's always something to feel grateful for, always. How no matter how small it is. And with FSR putting that gratitude tree, there's actually, you put it on the tree, 5 things you are grateful for. And, you could think about that today and put 5 things grateful today, and tomorrow another 5. And if you get into that habit of just really maybe writing down, a lot of people keep gratitude journals. That's a nice little tool, the 5 things to be grateful on the tree, and post it on your pages. So I thought that was a really, really nice, a nice little thing to do. So I like everybody, just because we're here and we're just gonna do a little drop-in breath awareness practice, just to kind of, get settled and then go into meditation in a little bit. So if everybody could just maybe get comfortable in their chairs, and let's drop into stillness and drop into our breath awareness practice, which will just be a couple of minutes. And the reason we do this is just to really, just have an intention to be here for the next hour, and to make this time for yourself and to learn and practice meditation. So if everybody could just maybe get seated and get in a comfortable chair. Um, Seated is probably the best way to do a meditation practice for most of us. Um, so we'll get comfortable in a chair, and this will just be a couple minutes of a breath practice. Maybe put your feet flat on the ground, ground yourself, shift around in the chair if you need to, get comfortable, hands on your lap. And we're gonna do something a little bit different today. We're gonna work with our 5 senses in this breath awareness practice. So what I'd like everybody to do is just take a couple of deep breaths, just in and out, deep breaths, just to kind of set your intention to be here. And what I'd like you to do is maybe just take a little bit of a downward gaze, maybe gaze down to your lap. And using the 5 senses, beginning with touch. So we want to just pay attention to where our feet are on the ground, hands on our lap, maybe buttocks in the chair, your spine is erect, your back on the back of the chair. Just have an awareness to that, and as you breathe normally. The next sense I'd like you to bring awareness to is hearings. Any sounds you may hear other than my voice, sounds in the room, maybe just even the sound of silence. Just take a couple of breaths here, normal breaths, breathing in and breathing out, and just have an awareness to sound. And now gazing downward, or if you want to gaze upward, just look and have a focus to something in the room, something on the wall, a painting, anything you want to focus on, and have an awareness to sight. What is in your sight? What is it that you're focusing on with your sight? And just continue to breathe in and out, focusing in on the sight. Then the next sense I'd like you to bring an awareness to is maybe your sense of taste. Maybe you just had lunch. Maybe you have a little bit of a taste in your mouth from your lunch. What is that sense of taste you have? Bring an awareness to that sense of taste. And then the last sense we want to focus in is on a sense of smell. As you breathe in and out, is there any smells in the room? I know I just put a little lavender on my wrists, and I have that. I love essential oils. So, and lavender is a great oil to have when you meditate, because it really is very calming and soothing. So just bringing awareness to that sense of smell that you have as you breathe in and you breathe out. Okay, great. That's just a simple little breath of awareness practice, couple of minutes just to use your senses. And the reason sometimes we use our senses when we meditate, and I know I did a meditation, a longer one, a few months back on using the five senses, is just to bring us into stillness, bring us into a different awareness other than our thoughts racing or whatever thoughts may be going on. So if you have a thought while you're concentrating on your sense of smell, you come back to whatever smell you may have in the room. It's a good time if you like essential oils, splash a little essential oils on your hands and just breathe them in. It's really nice to use, different ways to kind of tune into your senses. So like I said, today we're gonna do a practice in a few minutes on gratitude. So gratitude is kind of a something, like I said at the very beginning, it's one of the easiest things you can evoke in life. There's always something to be grateful for. Um, for me personally, and I'll share a story. About 5 years ago or 6 years ago, my journey, if that's what we want to call it, with sarcoidosis began. And it really began in my eyes. I was first diagnosed with orbital inflammatory syndrome and eventually ended up having a right orbital surgery because I had a very large mass. And obviously, when I went in, it was very scary. And the doctor, of course, gives you're going to make it to you're going to die in surgery kind of consent that we've all signed. But the major, issue for me was always going to be the possibility of losing my sight. I mean, I was still working. I was a nurse. And I went into surgery with that in my mind that I could come out of this, possibly blind, and I didn't. I mean, it was a very hairy kind of surgery, and I came out. It took a long time to recover my sight and everything, but I did. I have pretty good vision. I actually just had some surgery revision a couple of weeks ago, um, and I do have pretty good vision. And for 5 years, believe it or not, every morning I've woken up and I've been grateful for having sight. And it's just a simple thing I say every morning to remind me. I open my eyes, I have sight, and I say, I'm so grateful. And obviously I thank my surgeons, but I thank a higher being, and I thank, myself for getting through this journey without, falling apart. And we have to give ourselves a pat in the back every once in a while too. So it's a simple thing that I do every day. It's not the only grateful statement that I will make. Some days it could be the only great gratitude statement I make, but there's a gratitude statement daily. And I think this is a great practice to have. It doesn't matter when you do it, before you go to bed, when you get out of bed, those are always good times in the middle of the day because just you remember, or because something great has happened. Maybe your kid, your grandkid, your niece, nephew, got a great grade in school. They're calling you on the phone. They're happy to see you. Your dog is happy to see you. You had a great day with your spouse. Something great has happened. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. In the winter, that's all it takes. And just make a simple statement, and really pay attention to the statement. When you say it, it's like, I don't just wake up and say, oh, I'm grateful for sight. I wake up, I might look and see the light. I might look and see my spouse. I might look and see a beautiful painting, whatever. And I'm grateful that I have the sight to do that. So I incorporate the gratitude into something so that it brings a sense of joy, because gratitude, essentially, when you think about it, is joy. That's what it does. It creates a sense of joy for you. And just to go through some of the physical or physiological reasons to have gratitude, and there's been some research done on gratitude, not as much as on other emotions, but people were given stories, in research, or presented with these stories, and if that were you and that were happening, and they were obviously happy and joyful stories, and then MRIs were done, and what they showed, again, we look at the prefrontal cortex of the brain, because that is basically where emotions are regulated, empathy is created, and the stress response starts there. So what they did find, and there's some, and I didn't, I guess I've heard of this, but not much about it. In the prefrontal, throughout the central nervous system, there's something called the MU opioid receptors, the network, and it runs through the central nervous system, and that's what controls a lot of our emotions, especially, opioid receptors. It means that the feelings of happiness. And when you have gratitude and joy, those opioid receptors and opioid receptors are activated. And I thought, wow, how cool is that? Because I'm being a nurse, I always like to know what's the physiological reasons for things. So gratitude actually relies on these networks, and to have gratitude and to decrease your stress. So being able to express gratitude and truly feeling the joy of gratitude activates this network, the opioid network that runs through the central nervous system. So just a little kind of physiological reason why gratitude and joy are so important in daily life. So when we think of gratitude, what do we think of? We generally think of gratitude being an affirmation of goodness. Um, and this source of goodness can be inside or outside. You feel good inside because you're having a great physical day, or some great news about your disease, or your, whatever it is, or you just feel good because you're having a good day, or somebody on the outside provides a reason for you to feel gratitude. Not doesn't have to be a person, can be a thing, can be, like I said before, the sun. So gratitude can be felt, both from the inside or from outside forces. And that's what's great. Gratitude is all around us. It's everywhere. We just need to pay attention to it. Again, using mindfulness, and possibly using a little bit of breath awareness when you feel gratitude, saying something to yourself on the breath in, I feel grateful, on the breath out, I feel peace, or whatever, however you want to express that gratitude. But the thing with gratitude, when you use mindfulness, it's the paying attention to it. Yeah, you really have to, and it's a practice. If you do this daily, you begin to realize, wow, I'm paying more attention to what I'm grateful for. I have more joy, and this is something I want to do daily. And the more you do it, the more you realize how it really does work for you. And it really takes no time, seconds of every day. Um, so what are some of the benefits of gratitude? Of course, it would bring you happiness, bring you joy. It could actually relieve some anxiety and depression, because the focus would be outside of, your anxiety and depression, and basically shifting. And when we talk about shifting, we're actually talking about that concept of neuroplasticity. In the brain rewires itself. So you're rewiring yourself from anxiety to gratitude to joy, and the focus of that more than all the other negative things you may be focusing on. Um, Obviously works as a good stress reliever, can, lower your stress, can lower your blood pressure, can actually help you sleep better. It strengthens relationships, can make you more resilient. Um, and another thing that now in schools, and I think this is such a beautiful thing, they're teaching kids, especially at their very, very early ages. If you can teach kids in kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, first grade, how to say two things, please and thank you, because those are the concepts of gratitude, please and thank you. And a lot of teachers now are getting trained in mindfulness, which is wonderful. We have a program here in Miami-Dade County Schools called Mindful Kids, and the teachers are being trained to teach gratitude, especially at these earlier ages, by being grateful, and understanding what gratitude is, and learning how to say please and thank you. So that is so nice. And if you have grateful kids, they're going to grow up to be grateful adults, obviously. Um, and that's a wonderful thing. So just to put a little bit of a thought into gratitude, and some of the reasons gratitude is so important. And there's such a link now between gratitude and health. Um, and there's a direct link, gratitude and well-being, how you feel every day. Being grateful for something is going to correlate with your well-being and and actually boost your attitude, kind of thing. Um, you're going to have a more positive life satisfaction. You're going to just feel better about your relationship. You might feel a little more resilient because not always being in a dump about everything. You're going to feel more resilient because you feel that there's something to be grateful for. And we don't want to, make this into something that's impossible. But like I said at the very beginning, gratitude is one of the simplest things to evoke on a daily life. Even with our illnesses, even with whatever may be going on, and you don't necessarily want to compare yourself, but if you spend even a moment thinking about the billions of people on this earth and how many other people don't have what you have. It's not to say I'm comparing, I could have a better life or worse life. It's just to just stop, take that breath, and be grateful for something, even grateful for that breath that you're able to take, if you want to put it that simply. And one of the best ways, I think, to begin to learn how to, understand what gratitude is to just take, write a daily journal, gratitude journal for a little while, even if once a day you write in your gratitude journal, I was grateful to go to the beach today. I was grateful that I didn't have an argument with anybody. I was grateful that I woke up in a good mood. I was grateful that I had a good night's sleep. I was grateful that I had a good meal. Whatever you're grateful for, and keep that for a while. Um, and don't put anything negative in there. And maybe you want to date it, and maybe go back every week, and sometimes it'll give you clues to what you're grateful for and what makes you happy, and you can repeat it. A lot of people, what they do is write gratitude letters. They might write a letter. Let's say, I have a very close aunt who's been a big part of my life, and my mom and dad are passed away, and my grandparents, and she's remained a big part of my life. And I wrote her a letter probably 3 or 4 years ago about what an impact she had in my life. And it was just like, thank you for always being there since my parents died and whatever. And she called me up, and she was crying. I don't think she ever expected that, obviously. And it made her feel good. And she's elderly too. And it made me feel good. Um, so that's a really nice thing to do. Also write a gratitude letter to someone, and you don't just have to write one, you can write many. um, and then use gratitude as part of your meditation and daily life, like we did at the very beginning at the breath awareness. On the breath in, you could do a gratitude, very simple. I'm breathing in, I'm grateful for fill in the blanks. And then generally when you breathe out, you should say, I'm breathing out, I have peace, or I have serenity, or something. So you're quickly doing a meditation on gratitude, which is also really very nice in the middle of your day. So we're going to go ahead and start a meditation practice, like 10 or 15 minutes. So again, I'd like everybody to get comfortable in their chairs. And I'm going to guide you. Occasionally we'll have some periods of silence. I'll come in and say something, refocus you back on the breath. What I want everybody to do for a couple of seconds here, think about 3 things that you are grateful for right now. Try to make them pretty simple. Just have those 3 things in your head. I'm grateful for, and 3 things, because we're going to use those 3 gratitude things that you feel right now in our meditation today. Okay, so when you're meditating today and your mind begins to wander, or your thoughts happen, like we've talked about, thoughts always happen in meditation as you're breathing in and breathing out. I want you to substitute the thought. Let's say you're thinking, oh, what am I going to cook for dinner? And that's stressing you out. And then substitute that thought as you come back to the breath, breathing in and out, with one of the three things you feel comfortable. So for example, you're breathing in, you're thinking, oh my God, I got to cook at 5 o'clock. I got to get up, whatever. Instead, substitute that as you breathe in and out again. Say, oh, I'm so grateful for today. I had a very peaceful day. I'm so grateful for whatever you're grateful for. So each time you have a wondering thought, you can use the same grateful statement if you want, or, have one of three that you're able to substitute the mind wandering thought that you're having that maybe isn't doing you the best, in helping you with mindfulness. So that's the whole point. We want to be mindful of our gratitude. At the same time, doing body awareness, we're going to be aware of breathing in and breathing out. And that's making us mindful of present moment, of stillness, and our intention to be in this practice for this hour. So everybody, please get comfortable, feet on the ground, palms on your lap, your back nice and straight, head maybe drop down just a little bit. And let's just spend a minute or two just getting still, comfortable, and restful. So go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And then just come back to your normal breathing pattern, breathing in and breathing out. So as you begin to breathe in and out, just focus on how the breath feels. As you breathe in and you breathe out, bring an awareness to your breath as the chest rises, the belly rises as you breathe in and you breathe out. As you breathe in and you breathe out, you begin to feel stillness. You begin to feel restful sitting in the chair. You may begin to start to close your eyes. Have an awareness of the body beginning to relax. The head dropping, shoulders and neck feeling less tension, feeling soft, a softness to the face. Breathing in and breathing out. Many of us hold our stressors in our neck and shoulders. We begin to feel that area soften, to drop. The hands on the lap. As your mind begins to wander, if any thoughts should arise, think of one of those three grateful statements that you came up with. Substitute the mind wandering thought with a thought on gratitude. Breathing in, I feel grateful for. Breathing out, I feel peace. Breathing in, I feel grateful for. Breathing out, I feel peace. As we settle into stillness and into our body, being mindful of our breathing in and breathing out, mindful of the body, how it's begun to soften, Breathing in, you feel the chest rise. Breathing out, you feel the chest fall. Our buttocks are soft on a chair. Legs are soft. Feet are on the floor. We scan the body from the top of the head downwards, breathing in, breathing out. Continue to scan the body all the way down to the tips of the toes, breathing in and breathing out. Again, if you have a wondering thought, substitute that thought with, I feel grateful. On the inhale, I feel grateful for. On the exhale, I feel peace. On the inhale, I feel grateful for. On the exhale, I feel peace. We notice how our bodies are completely still. As we inhale and we exhale, mindful of this moment, we're mindful of the presence of our bodies. We feel grateful of our vessel, our bodies. Although sometimes it fails us, we come back to the body. We come back to healing. We come back to repairing. On the breath in, I am grateful for this vessel, my body. I feel healing light. On the breath out, I feel peace. I feel healing. On the inhale, we feel grateful for our bodies. We feel healing. On the exhale, we feel peace. If the mind wanders, come back to your gratitude statement. I am grateful as I breathe in, and as I breathe out, I feel peace. As we breathe in and we breathe out, we feel the joy, the happiness that this gratitude statement provides us. It brings even a smile. You may want to smile as you breathe in that gratitude and you breathe out that peace. As you breathe in, I feel grateful for. As you exhale, peace. As you breathe in, you're mindful of this feeling of gratitude and joy. As you breathe out, you feel joy. As you breathe in, you are mindful of this feeling of gratitude and joy. As you breathe out, you feel peace. If your mind wanders, substitute the thought with I feel grateful for on the inhale, and as you exhale, peace. We're going to spend a few moments in silence. Remember, if the mind wanders, bring the statement of I feel grateful for on the inhale, and I feel peace on the exhale. As you breathe in, feel grateful for, and as you breathe out, I feel peace. Before you open your eyes, you may want to just take a few minutes here to take some deep breaths and reflect back on the 3 statements of gratitude or any statement of gratitude that you would like to at this time. I feel grateful for being here with all of you and having this time to spend in gratitude. I feel grateful for the Foundation of Sarcoid Research allowing me to spend this time in meditation with each of you and practice gratitude. I feel grateful. I feel peace. Whenever each of you are ready, maybe you'll open your eyes, shift your body in the chair a little bit, have a sip of water. And we can share if anybody would like to share in a little bit. So I see Mindy's back. Maybe some of you might feel good putting your videos on. I'd like to see some faces if possible. As you don't have to, but it'd be nice. Thank you. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Sandy, thank you. Hi. Chris, hi. Thank you.
Hey,
Hi. All right. So I did something today that I didn't, something a little different. I've just finished reading this book, and Mindy, if you want to put it up, by this doctor. Her name is Amishi, Amishi Jha, Jha. Amishi Jha. She is a neuropsychologist here at the University of Miami, and she just wrote, I wouldn't say I know her well, but I know her. She wrote this book called Peak Mind, and it's all about attention. And she's been doing for many years in the neuroscience lab at the University of Miami studies on attention with like firefighters, nurses, doctors, first responders, and then she's opened it up to the general public. Because in mindfulness, the main the studies have been done on people that meditate 20 to 30 minutes a day, and she has been working on this subject of attention, and she's really rocking the world in mindfulness right now, because she's saying that you can get the same benefits with 12 minutes of meditation as you would get with 20 or 30 minutes, which is what has been always done in the United States under all the studies with John Kabat-Zinn and for the last 30 or 40 years. So today I said, I'm going to do a 12-minute meditation and maybe get some feedback from you. But she says, and she has a lot of science to prove it, and I just finished reading her book, and it's pretty fascinating, that 12 minutes, and I think that's a good thing, 12 minutes of meditation, and you get the same physical, mental benefits as you would from someone who does longer meditations. Not to say you couldn't do more, because my meditations are usually much longer, but there are days that, you're busy. And so I thought, let me just try this out today. And we've done longer meditations, obviously, but this was, I thought it was pretty refreshing, actually, 12 minutes. So how did you guys feel? Does anybody want to share? come on, I'm pretty excited about this.
Feel free to unmute yourselves, folks. Go ahead and just unmute yourself. Well, Susan, I'll start. I enjoyed it. It is, I have to be very careful because I have to keep watch on the video to make sure that people aren't waiting to get in. So I can't just close my eyes and really get into it. But even with my eyes open, sorry, I just got something in my eyes, speaking of my eyes being open. It was super nice. And I actually sort of liked the shorter amount of time because I was able to kind of like get into it and not worry so much about the list of people waiting to get in, which everybody got in when you needed to get in.
Yeah. And you said something really good. You kept your eyes open. And if you feel like you need, and I know I talked about this in my mindfulness series, if you feel like you need to keep your eye open, that's fine. What people should do is have like a focused attention. Like I'm sure Minnie looks focused, maybe she's looking at the participant screen to see if anybody needs to come in. It's not to say keep your minds open and look around the room and look what's going on over there, whatever. Do focused attention with your mind, your eyes open. And sometimes I do a lot of focused attention when I give these classes because I'm focusing on the time frame. And today, especially because I'm more used to doing longer meditations, I wanted to make sure I didn't go over the 12 minutes. So that's fine. If you do a focus and come back to the breath, it's sort of the mind wandering, same issue. You're focused and you're get off, but then you come back to the mind. And today we came back to the gratitude practice, which I've never done a practice like this. I have to say, I kind of made this up a couple of days ago, and I don't know, I really liked it. So I thought it was kind of nice.
Yeah, I thought,
Go ahead.
I thought the time was fine. I thought it's much more doable.
Yeah,
repeatable.
good.
Yeah,
I was so excited when I read that book. I was like, this is going to be a game changer.
What is the name of the book, the title?
It's called Peak Mind, Peak Mind, MINT.
And her name is spelled J-H-A?
J-H-A, Amishi Jha. Yeah, I think she's Indian. I don't know. She's young. She's really great speaker. If you go on YouTube, she's got a bunch of YouTubes out there.
Oh, interesting.
Very, very interesting to listen to her. And she's very dynamic. So you have fun listening to her.
Okay.
I think people will like her. So the thing about gratitude, I think as we come to Thanksgiving, and I know a lot of people do this, but maybe some people don't do it. On Thanksgiving Day, if you're at home and you spend it with your family or friends or whomever, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, not everybody does, but even if you don't, it's Thanksgiving Day, do an out loud gratitude practice. A lot of families do this. They'll go around the table and they'll say, it sounds corny, but it really is nice. You say, if you're with your mom, I'm grateful to have you here, Mom, but you haven't been here in a few years, whatever. It could just be something really, whatever, just nice. And you will see the amount of joy that you bring to that table. It's just really amazing. And I've done Thanksgivings in my family and outside my family, and that people have done this, and others that people don't do it. And I'll tell you, hands down, the ones that do it sets off the day, the night when you do that. It really gets everybody into a good mood, basically, because when you practice gratitude, you're evoking happiness. You're not grateful for a crappy day. You're usually not grateful that you failed your test and you're in school. You're grateful for something. That's what gratitude is. It means thank you. So generally, when you're evoking gratitude, you're evoking happiness and joy. And if you can do this for yourself, and then you can do it for others, I mean, all it sets off is a chain of joy. I don't want to be too corny here, but it is a beautiful practice to do on Thanksgiving Day if you're having a get together. But it's a great practice to do for yourself, because this is what this is all about. What can I do for myself that's not only going to change me physically and mentally, help me in my well-being, but possibly sets my day into a better mood and sets other people into a better mood and sets your day into being more joyful. So if you can, and like I said, like I shared at the very beginning, this thing about the sights, and I'm serious, every morning before I get out of bed, I am really grateful for my sight. And and I'll say whatever corny. I might just say I'm grateful for my sight that day, and that's it, but there will be other days where I wake up and I look at something in the room and I'll go, wow, or I'm so grateful for these new sheets that are so comfortable and I can see them or whatever. As corny as it can be, it's going to bring a smile to your face, and you'll start to notice that. I mean, I'm saying that about the sheets. That's pretty corny, and it made me smile. So, I'm looking at Janelle's picture here. I think they're deviled eggs. I think so. And I love deviled eggs. And I'm like, wow, okay. I almost want to have one. But it's a beautiful practice, gratitude. And FSR has such a beautiful campaign going on right now. I was really, really impressed. And I actually told Mindy before we got online, I feel so grateful that I was like almost the beginning here of, everything you guys are doing. And I got this meditation, when she told me last month, oh, let's do something on gratitude. I thought that was related to Thanksgiving. And then I saw this great campaign and I thought, wow, this is really, really nice. So me personally, I'm grateful for all of you being here. I'm grateful for this opportunity once a month. I'm certainly grateful for FSR for all they do and their fight for research for sarcoidosis. Does anybody want to share their gratitude? You don't have to. I mean, it's personal.
I want to do it, Susan.
Okay,
This
thank
is
you.
Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Yes. Hi, Susan. Yes, I am grateful for you, Susan, and Mindy, for organizing all of these sessions. To share your
Thank you.
knowledge, Susan, thank you very much, because I have grown so much in mindfulness, in the things that you teach us every month. And this is great. I mean, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, thank you, Sandra. Thank you. That set my day, the rest of my day for sure.
You have changed our life, Susan. This is, oh, you have changed my life. So thank you.
Wow, thank you.
I don't know how I can beat that. I mean,
I don't think I can't either, but it's like amazing. But we are coming into this holiday season, and with holidays, we have so much stress, everybody. Not only do we have the holidays, our families, sometimes they can be pretty stressful too. They bring you joy, but they can bring you stress too. Let's get real. But I think one thing that COVID certainly, and obviously the stress of COVID, I've been personally impacted by COVID, not myself. I didn't get it. I just got my booster shot last week, but I'm a nurse. I've had friends and colleagues die, and it's been a rough year, and I'm sure everybody can express this in one way or the other. But the one thing, and you see this all over social media, and it's super corny too. Maybe this will be the Christmas we don't buy stuff. That we really, whether you're, practice Christmas, you practice, Jewish faith or any faith, maybe it's the season that we practice gratitude instead. And we don't practice buying and consumerism. I mean, that's good and bad, obviously, for the economy. I'm not saying don't go out and spend money, but I mean, let's put in the mix some gratitude. And as much as all of us struggle with our health, and all of us do in different ways, when you wake up every morning, you woke up. A lot of people aren't waking up that morning. And I've had that personal hit with colleagues with COVID that young and never woke up, and never even had funerals or a funeral you could attend. So we have to try and refocus ourselves and practice gratitude, as simple as it can be, even those comfortable sheets, like I said. But let's try to get into that practice, because the more we practice it, the more we bring joy to ourselves and to others. So have a happy holiday season to everybody, whether you eat turkey or not.
Thank you.
thank you, Susan, so much. And thank you to each of you for coming and spending time with us for the last hour. And as you know, I'm super grateful for Susan and and all of our patient advocates and patient navigators who literally step up to the plate every day and work to raise awareness about sarcoidosis for everybody. And it's always such an amazing thing to me. So thank you for all your work, Susan, and to our navigators and to each of you for coming and spending time with us today. And we will see you next time in December, the next session. Mindfulness meditation should be up today, in fact, to register. So I'll make sure that gets out to everybody by email. And I hope you have the rest of your day is really nice.
Thank you, Lindy. Everybody have a great day and thank you again. And
You too.
practice gratitude every day. One statement. It's going to change your life.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.